All right, Lydia, we're live on video. Stand by for your intro and audio. All right, good day and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Live the Fuel show. So I'm actually surprisingly surprised today because I'm bringing on a new co-host, but she and I have actually chatted before, and I thought it was a podcast. But this is what happens when you start doing too much. I apparently recorded a video with her. We aired it on YouTube. We aired it on Facebook. We aired it in one of our private CrossFit communities for the nutrition we use. But it wasn't actually a podcast. So I just blew my own mind today. So without further ado, we're bringing on a new co-host, as I hinted. And she's from a little community that I founded a while ago. Only because I just got bored of other communities and just wanted to start my own. But it was a community that we branded as the ISACROSSFITTER, or translated into what she and I are going to talk about, ISACROSSFITTER. And this young lady, she's been a CrossFitter for 4 years. And yes, she's been using Isagenix, which is a nutrition company that I've been working with and having as a side hustle, but also the nutrition that I fuel my body and many other people I've helped with. And she's been doing that for a while now. And then currently, she's now an admin with that community because I never had an additional admin, and she just fit the bill perfectly because I love her energy. I love her transformation. That's right. We're going to hear about transformations today. So without further ado, a fellow admin from the ISACROSSFITTER community. Welcome to the show, Lydia Hunt.
Woo! Hello.
So Lydia and I had some fun just now. So I love being transparent. I don't hide anything. So ladies and gentlemen, podcasting isn't always that easy. So Lydia is trying to free up time on her Sunday. We tried to do this on Friday. Then we had to reschedule to today. And then she's trying to do it from the house. We could not get things synced up. The internet feed was awful. And then she's such a hustler. She went, you know what? I'm going to drive into town 10 minutes away to her CrossFit box that she trains at. So real quick, who's a shout out here? We're going to shout out to. What's a CrossFit box? Where you at?
CrossFit Como in Columbia, Missouri.
There we go, people. Missouri. And she's like that weird person sitting out in the car like having a conversation. So like people are going to walk in and out of the box and be like, okay, Lydia's just out there sitting in the car, laughing her ass off to somebody to an iPhone. So yeah, welcome to the podcast, because apparently you were never been on the podcast before.
Thank you. It's news to me too.
I know. I mean, we had a wonderful, very long video back in January. January 2018.
Wow.
So obviously, like, catch the audience up because they have no clue who you are. I hinted, obviously, 4-year CrossFitter. Yes, you do dabble a little in the Isagenix world. But you had a bit of a transformation, young lady. So
yeah, a bit. Yeah.
Catch us up.
Well, since January, I continued to lose weight. I had already lost like 45 pounds when I spoke to you, and I'm up to like 80 almost, I think.
Wow.
But that aside, like every day I'm just living healthy and fueling my body appropriately. And I've been continually sharing with other people, and I have since quit my day job. So for about 3 weeks, I've been staying at home full time, and I'm, sharing Isagenix with people and taking care of my 2 kids who are 2 and 4. And they're like the hardest job I've ever done in my life. Yeah. Oh, look, there's me.
Yeah. So, all right. So ladies and gentlemen, this is why video is so powerful. That's why I don't just have audio podcast world. I'm sharing one of her many transformation photos. This is a before from July 2017. By the way, I love the frustrated face you used in that selfie. And then June 2018, just last month, because we are recording here in July. And just amazing, girl. I mean, this is awesome. So you shared this. Actually, this is a photo from inside of our ISACROSSFITTER community. And this is actually, according to your notes, this photo was from your 3rd IsaBody challenge and
Correct.
11 months using our nutrition that we use. And apparently you've been CrossFitting, though, for 4 years.
Correct. Yeah.
So that
I was CrossFitting for 3 years in that prior photo. I had a baby a year before that. But even though I was consistently going 2 to 3 days a week, I started gaining weight because my nutrition was so bad. And I knew it. I knew it was my nutrition the whole time. But, it wasn't until I was willing to make a change that I started transforming. Like, I had to find a tool and a vehicle that could get me to the other side.
Well, here's the thing. Like I've been using Isagenix God since I was firefighting, so 2010
Yep.
out west, and I've my lifestyle with that company has changed over the years. Like the
Mhm.
program that I've developed for myself or followed 8 years ago is
Mhm.
way different than what I use today. And
Right.
something I always remind people, I'm like, dude, I'm not some kind of robot. Like I cycle, I adapt, I test things. I use myself
Mhm.
as a guinea pig. I'm like, what if I stop doing this and I start doing this, or I stop using that product and start using that product? But without getting into that right away, let's just help people understand. Like, I'm a big supporter of fat adaptation, ketogenic training these days, right? I've been experimenting a lot with that. So me
Mhm.
using supplementation is a big
Mhm.
no-no, right? So
Mhm.
we'll pause before we get into that. I wanted to help people understand listening to this. This is not an episode to just promote the power of Isagenix, even though I do believe in the nutrient density of their products and the effectiveness, because I've seen these powerful transformations. I myself have kept myself healthy and fit. I've impacted other people's lives with it. That aside, like, what was your lifestyle before, right? Because we just shared the before photo. So
Yeah.
you didn't know that, oh, I'm lifting weights, I'm doing the fitness. I'm air quoting people for the video.
Mhm.
And but people think the fitness is just exercise. And as I
Mhm.
teach people, I'm like, guys, it's actually a combination. It's
Mhm.
exercise, it's nutrition, how you fuel the body, but also how
Mhm.
you rest the body. Rest and recovery is so important. So why don't we
Mhm.
talk a little bit about that? Like, what was your lifestyle before? Oh, we got
Had
some.
no self control. Sorry, what?
Okay. We had some internet delay there, so
Oh, sorry. I basically ate whatever I wanted. Kind of I grew up as an athlete, so the more you ate, the better when you're younger. But my metabolism had slowed, and I never fueled my body right. I mean, the sugary drinks, sodas, energy drinks, too much coffee. I just addiction to sugar and food. I was the food literally controlled everything.
yeah. Well, and I love your emphasis there on the sugar, right?
Hmm.
So what was some of your sugar examples?
Sugar. I put sugar in coffee. I drank sugar in everything I drank, from sodas to sweet teas to, I mean, everything. And anything I had to have sugar in it. I mean, and then of course, as I've gotten a little bit better with nutrition, I've realized there's hidden sugars in pretty much everything, all of the processed crap I was eating.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm aware of that. And it's definitely a complete mindset change from then to now.
Well, I mean, let's be real. The sugar components is a big wake up call for a lot of people. I'll be honest. Like, I could tell people that are in the CrossFit world, I can help them without even putting them on Isagenix. Right?
Mm.
That's a system. It gives somebody a game plan. Right?
Right.
Proven platform or nutritional program to plug yourself into. But
Mm-hmm.
initially, sometimes people are slow to that and they need some baby steps. And
Mm-hmm.
one of the things you just said, right? Like, I put sugar in my coffee. Why?
Mm-hmm.
People just put sugar in their coffee and they don't even know why.
Sure.
And like,
I've been drinking it black for a year now, and I don't even know what I was thinking.
now, have you started playing around in my fat world where you start adding some healthy fats into your coffee at all?
Nah, I just drink it black.
Okay. So, and
I
that's me.
Yeah, maybe I should. You'll have to teach me. Teach me
Well,
your ways.
and again, like, it's all experimentation. I believe in testing it
Mm-hmm.
myself. And
Yeah.
yes, so fat is energy. Sugar
Mm-hmm.
is a false energy. It's a flash
Mm-hmm.
in the pan, short burning component. It's not
Yep.
sustainable, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the science proves it, that the body can sustain a longer performance and more energy on healthy fats. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that aside, that's why I'm such a supporter of I'm doing so much research for myself into the ketogenic lifestyle and getting myself more fat adapted. Like,
Mhm.
I literally do shots of olive oil every morning. So I'm that weirdo.
Yeah, you're weird.
Right? But see, well, hold on. Perfect segue, right? I'm weird because I'm consuming healthy fats from a natural fruit, olives. Okay.
Yep.
And now here's the best part. People are like, oh, well, that's a whole food, but it had to go through a process to become olive oil. And the company that I order mine from comes from Italy. And all they're doing is they literally have one of those old fashioned stone grinders, and it just goes around like one of those old grain mills, and it's just crushing the olives and pushing the olive juice out. So you can't beat something more pure than that. But that's still a process. Okay. So let's segue back a little bit into the Isagenix piece. You tried, I'm guessing, a number of different systems and protocols while you were in CrossFit before you started experimenting with adding Isagenix, correct?
Yeah, correct.
So what was some of the processed supplements or processes or platforms or protocols that you tried to help?
I'd never tried any supplements before, but definitely the cutting out of carbs and sugars and like the Whole30 or paleo lifestyle. Like I tried it and it literally left me exhausted. Like I was wrung out and hung up to dry. So I almost didn't even try Isagenix because I'm like, I'm not willing to do that. It's so hard.
Okay. Now, and I love the honesty on that. Why would, again, you hinted at it earlier. You said mindset, right? It's just your mindset's not ready yet. And this goes back to what's called our lizard brain. A lot of psychology here, sorry. But our lizard brain is designed to protect us. That section of our brain, instantaneously, if you go to try something new, a drastic shift in your normal programming, what your life is normally used to, your brain kicks in instantaneously and your lizard brain says, nope, that's scary. Oh, I got to protect you. You should not do this. Or maybe I should just not consider doing this. It's a natural protocol. It's okay. That's why there's famous authors out there. It has nothing to do with Isagenix. There's a great book called The 5-Second Rule. And she's like, wait 5 seconds and then allow yourself to make the decision. Because it's on average, it takes about 5 seconds for you to get past that initial fight or flight lizard brain reaction. So I'm not sure if you ever heard of that before.
I've never heard of that, but I'm going to use it now.
There you go. And I recommend the book. I have it on Audible and I have the physical, and I go back to it because it's a very quick read, and it's it applies to so many domains of life. Even though you and I are catching up today about nutrition and the CrossFit lifestyle and how it can help people individually, but also businesses, let's be real too. But in the end, it's like, guys, like Isagenix out the window, CrossFit out the window. This is normal. Okay. Anytime you take an investment in yourself, it's going to be a challenge. That's the point. Anything worth having requires hard work. I mean, no offense, Lydia. I know your transformation's amazing. And actually, I'm going to screen share again here your most recent headshot because I love it. You're wearing the shirt, should, could, would, love it. And so that, right, you've transformed yourself. But that wasn't easy, right? There was no magic pill, okay?
Nope.
Like I can't stand people like, oh, well, you're using some magic supplementation. Well, that's not sustainable, or you're stuck on that the rest of your life. Guys, I could stop Isagenix tomorrow. And yeah, I've learned enough and I've transformed my body and my mind enough to sustain certain things because I've learned a lot from that. But I'll be missing a certain nutrient density component that I'll get into a little bit later with you because I'm sure you and I could geek out about that. But the hard work, okay? Your mental game. Can you give us some examples of that? Like some of your struggles over the past, let's see, it's been a year?
Yeah. Too many to count.
Okay. I'm getting a little internet lag again. I love it. Technology is never our friend.
Right.
Oh, and you're back.
No, never. I'm back. Well, I mean, number one is portion control. That was the hardest hurdle I think I ever got over, because I was so used to just stuffing my face with whatever I felt like, but really, I literally would limit myself to one plate of food, and I would not partake in any more. If I was like really, really struggling, but I would not put any more on my plate. And just little things like that, continuing to do that over and over again and making that good choice, like purposely. Even today, like it's been a year, and we had Mexican after church, and we had fajitas, and I did have a couple tortillas. I had 2 tacos, and I knew that it was enough, and I was satisfied. So I left, I went to the bathroom, I looked in that mirror, and I said, "You've had enough." And I went back and I didn't have another taco, which it was sitting right there in front of me. But I literally, every day, it's a mental game to just make that right choice. And I am the one that makes that choice. Nobody else makes that for me. Sorry, okay. Did you lose me?
No, I still got you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try shutting off your camera, your video feed.
Okay.
Because your bandwidth is a little choppy. And usually once I turn video off, like all of a sudden you sound perfect. You were getting a little choppy. And I'm going to do some screen sharing anyway. So since I have the backup. See, I'm ready to adapt. We can adapt on the fly.
Woohoo!
But so you're, and portion control aside, like I tell people all the time, as you advance down the timeline, like I've been doing this longer than you. So there's still a lot more for you to learn.
Oh, yeah.
For example, I will sit down and eat 2 steaks if I wanted to. Because as you progress down the timeline, you're going to graduate beyond initially portion control helps you make an impact, right? But as you learn, you're going to learn that it's not necessarily the portion. It's what's in the portion.
What's in the portion.
Right?
Correct.
I challenge people to overeat on things like steak or any protein, big, rich, healthy fats like avocados and stuff like that. Like there's a little exercise since you brought up Mexican or Latin food, right? I created a little challenge because I do not consume grains anymore. Yeah, I've been off of the grains for a while. So when I go get Mexican, I do lettuce wraps. I don't want because all grains, and you and I understand cleansing and detoxification of the body and removing inflammation, and that's a whole other podcast. But because we both use those components from Isagenix to help the body detoxify and remove the inflammation. But that point there is, I challenge people, I'm like, go to a Mexican restaurant and if they're one of those places that gives you like the bottomless bowl of chips and salsa, okay, eat your giant bowl of chips and salsa, like tomato-based, salsa, whatever. Then come back another day. And if they have like the guac bowls where you can get just all guacamole, like all avocado rich with sour cream and all that, those are all fatty, healthy fats. So it's like, now do the same thing. Try and eat a giant bowl of just guac, avocado, sour cream with the chips. Now you still got the grains, right? And grains get converted to simple sugars in your body. So you still got a problem there. But I'm just baby stepping people. But I'm like, guys, try and overeat on the guac. You're going to fill up. It's right. Because fat is richer. It's not a traditional salsas are just tomatoes. And it all gets converted. Tomatoes are fruit. People think it's a vegetable. Tomatoes are fruit. But it's it's a simple fruit. There's no fat derived from that. Avocados and olives, fat. So that's a fatty fruit. So the other thing I experiment with this past year is I've taken myself completely off of fruit, except for fatty fruits. And people are like, what? You don't eat blueberries and raspberries and bananas? And I'm like, no. And guess what? I just moved the trophy out of here, but I won a competition a few months ago, a CrossFit competition. I've been competing I just competed a couple of months ago in a 6-person team competition. My team came in 5th. My fiance's came in 3rd. Nice. I'm doing a triathlon next weekend. I don't slow down.
Right.
But I am more fat adapted than I've ever been. So it's like, guys, you can't knock it till you try it. That's become a way of life for me. I'm guessing you can chime in a little on that. How have you come along with that whole can't knock it till you try it?
Like with trying Isagenix, you mean?
Or anything. I mean,
or anything.
Your transformation took you through, I guarantee it took you through so many mental roadblocks, like
oh my goodness.
fighting it, not wanting to embrace it, like, right?
Right. Well, I wanted who I am today so bad. I was going to do whatever it took to get here.
Okay.
But I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Well, no, I mean, like, as far as the mental roadblocks, like it's a part of the process. Yeah. Anything, again, back to my point earlier, right? Anything worth having is going to be a challenge. But one of the things that makes it easier is teamwork, a support system. And obviously, in this case, because Isagenix was a big part of your transformation, is a system to follow. I mean, and this is, again, taking Isagenix out of the equation, just plugging into a system. Like, people promote Whole30.
Right.
They do. I get it. I agree with some of the components of Whole30, but is it sustainable?
No.
Right?
Like, and I don't know if I've ever met anybody who believes it's sustainable.
Yeah. So it's like, well, wait a minute. Well, and everybody's just like, oh, what diet are you on right now? And I don't like that word, because
I don't either.
I call it now the bad 4-letter word, because it's short, it's short term and short minded. You need something that's sustainable and over the long haul. And you now passing that. Where are you at in your timeline with that?
Well, my timeline, I'm over a year into this, and it's a lifestyle. It's not a diet. I didn't cut anything out. I just fueled my body with the things that I was in the appropriate like times of day and portions, and it changes, and it's different on days when I work out, and I'm higher in the protein and carbs on day that I work out. For me, it's not as much as of a number as a quality, like quality over quantity kind of thing. So I really appreciate food, and food appreciates me now, because it is. I mean, food is the fuel that got me to where I was when I started this. But food is the fuel that transforms me. So I've learned how to control the food instead of letting the food control me.
Well, and let's tie this back into CrossFit, okay? And again, whether it's Isagenix or anything else, or CrossFit, right? Guys, I get people all the time like, "Oh, you're a CrossFitter." That's like, isn't that one of the newest age like fitness cults? And I was like, okay, well, one, if you've never tried it, then you can't knock it. All right, you can't knock it till you try it.
Touche.
Right? Like, you're criticizing something based on what, YouTube videos, hearsay from people who may have had a bad experience. And let's be real, I don't care if it's CrossFit or a HIIT programming gym, high intensity interval training for our listeners and watchers. HIIT, HIIT. It's just another variation of CrossFit. Or heck, when I used to teach spinning for 6 years ago, like, I taught spinning classes. People were like, who wants to get up and go take a 6 o'clock in the morning spin class? I was like, it's not for everybody. It's for weirdos like me, all right? And the weirdos who want to join my class, which I always had anywhere from 10 to 15 people in there at 6 o'clock in the freaking morning, because that was their lifestyle choice. They got themselves to that point. So how often do you find that coming up in your conversations?
With the lifestyle of CrossFit?
Well, CrossFit, Isagenix, whatever.
People ask me all the time, or people often will be like, I just can't do CrossFit because it's too hard, or it's too scary. And I go, listen, I'm still scared, and I've been doing it for 4 years. Like, I go into the class going, oh shit, what's on the board? I don't want to read it.
I had that today. Today, my buddy owns the one CrossFit gym that I used to coach at. And you'll appreciate this. So yesterday I go to this other I'm a CrossFit core. I just get around.
You sleep around.
You have that waddle. It's like, I'm going to drop in over there. But my other buddy's gym, SYR CrossFit here in Allentown, Pennsylvania. My fiance's a member. I just drop in all the time there. So we went to the partner WOD yesterday, but they changed it up. It's normally a 2-person partner WOD. Yesterday it was a 3-person partner WOD. And then we thought it was just one workout, and I already had the mountain bikes on the roof. So we were supposed to come in, workout, then go meet my other buddy, Corley, who owns CrossFit Adoration in Bethlehem, where I was today. Him and his fiance were going to meet us for a mountain bike ride. Well, we get done with the first workout, and then the coach was like, oh, don't forget, guys, we're adding a second workout for cash out today. I'm like, what? Like, I just beat the crap out of myself with two other dudes with 50-pound dumbbells for 25 to 30 minutes. And he went and just tossed a second workout at us. So we had to do 2 workouts yesterday. Then I went and did mountain biking. Then in the rainstorm yesterday evening, my fiance and I were outside. I pulled out these giant metal digging bars and my sledgehammer, and I ripped up 50 feet of sidewalk behind my house and crushed it. And we carried all the concrete. So it's basically another CrossFit workout.
Right.
Yeah. And then came in this morning to the weekly hero wad that we do every week
down. Oh my gosh,
in Bethlehem. And you know if it's a hero wad.
Oh, it's terrible.
Oh, so we did 343, which honors the 343 fallen firefighters from 9/11. That's how many firefighters we lost on 9/11. A lot of people don't know that.
That's crazy.
Me being a former firefighter, he's like, "Oh, so you're going to be there, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." And the god awful part about that workout is it was 100 of each movement. So 300 reps.
Oh my gosh.
And then you closed out with 43 burpees. So
oh my goodness.
It was just, I won't even get into the weights. There's a lot of barbell stuff. I mean, basically it was 100 deadlifts, 100 power cleans, and then 100 ground to overhead. So I did snatches the whole time. So
wow.
My shoulders from yesterday and today feel amazing right now. But people hear all of this, right? And they're like, I could never do all that.
Right.
Neither could I years ago.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's conditioning. I have built myself to that point, and I have fueled my body the right way.
The right way. Yeah.
Right.
And everybody just is full of excuses for why they can't change. And ultimately it's your decision to make a change. And if you choose not to do it, well, that's your own excuse.
Yeah. Well, and that's where, again, the part of you and I getting together today is like, you do need to talk through this, right? Like you've come so far and you're still learning so much. I'm always still learning. But there's other people out there struggling or maybe seeing the transformation that you've gone through and they may second guess like how you got there.
Right.
And like, I got to go back to your other transformation pick because like here, let me zoom in here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Some people would not appreciate this, but let's just look at your legs. Right? Look how strong your legs look. That is hot.
Thank you.
Like, damn, girl. You got some muscle on those quads.
Yep.
And I know damn well you're proud of that.
I sure am.
So, okay. People will look at that and they're like, oh, well, what drug did you take? Or did you take ephedra or a magic pill? And what do you have to say to that?
I say I work damn hard every single day.
Okay.
And I fought through my demons with food, and I learned to fuel my body properly using tools that made it possible, because I was literally unable to do it on my own. I needed help.
Okay.
And I found that help I needed.
What's some of the examples of the new help that you found versus eating?
Well, Isagenix, obviously, number one. It fuels me through my workouts. It fuels me around my workouts. I mean, I have a whole protein drink stuff that I have before, during, and after I work out. And I'm a firm believer in the Isagenix Sport line. They have an amp line that literally just rocked my world. People are like, well, how is that possible? I'm like, well, it's actually scientifically proven with this nutrition program that I'm doing. So I just trusted it. I trusted the process. I trusted when they said, this is going to make you, this is going to give you energy to fuel your workout and you're going to recover faster. I was like, sweet, let's do it. And it works. Yeah. Amp Knox. There you go. My hard workouts, man, I got to have them.
So my little hack, and obviously this is before the amp line even existed. I've always enjoyed these. So I saved the e-shots for like the big days. So because it's caffeine wise, it's equal to a cup of coffee. But the amped is my secret nectar of the gods, so to speak, because the whole point here is it's just nitrogen oxide supplement. So it actually helps you with oxygenation of the blood. So people who are endurance athletes like me, we get it because, dude, if I can improve the carrying of oxygen at the cellular level in my bloodstream, I will improve my VO2 max. And again, you can go and buy all the men's health, women's health magazines you want, which a lot of that's garbage. But point taken is this. I take this, one of these little bottles, the night before. I want it in my bloodstream. If I have a morning workout, I've learned from the education from the scientist who invented this. He's like, dude, take it within 24 hours and you're good. So my little hack is if I got a big morning hero wad, so last night, right before bed, I downed my Nox. Then I woke up, did my little shot of olive oil like I usually do. And then for my Zen experience, I take our Calvin the Coonhound, our dog outside. But I make my, I've been taking Ionic Supreme forever. That's where I used to
love it.
Recovery, de-stress. But I've learned it gives me a little bit of energy. So I only do it in the morning. I don't do it in the night because I want maximum sleep cycle recovery. So again, ladies and gentlemen, we're sharing some hacks that have nothing to do with Isagenix. Okay. I hinted at it earlier. Fitness is more than just CrossFit, which is your exercise and conditioning. And it's more than just Isagenix, which is nutrition, but it's also helping your body rest, recover, and reduce cortisol levels, which are all resulting from stress. So if you can get the right nutrients into your body that aid with bringing down stress levels, that's the biggest thing that I've started teaching over the past couple of years is if you can hack the recovery, because most CrossFitters are guilty of this. We overtrain. I'm intrigued. Like, have you ever reached a point in the past year where you overtrained and you're like, oh God, I need a rest day?
Yeah. Unfortunately, no, because I've never been able to go more than 2 to 3 days a week. I kind of wish I could get to that point sometime, but
hold on. I'm back to screen sharing again. Let me go back.
Yeah.
Because you just said that. Okay. This transformation,
3 days a week.
On average, you're only hitting the gym or CrossFit gym 2 to 3 days a week.
Yeah, correct. Honestly, I've been more busy in this last year, and I've gone sometimes I go 2 days a week, but because of how I'm fueling my body, every time I exercise, my body is getting the full benefits of the exercise. Instead of trying to burn off whatever shit I put into my body, it's using what I put into my body to fuel it and transform it into what it should be. I mean, that me right there on the right is what I look like in high school. I think I'm actually more fit than I was then.
Well, you said you were an athlete, right? Before
I was, yeah.
Before the family. What did you do when you were younger?
I was a swimmer. I played a little bit of basketball. I stunk at it. I played a little bit of tennis, but I was a soccer player. Soccer was my sport.
Okay. How tall are you?
I'm only 5'3.5".
Oh yeah, you are totally a quick little whip on the soccer field.
I was. They had a lot of nicknames for me. I think Trainwreck Gabori. Gabori was my maiden name. So I used to take people out because I was really good at playing the ball, but also throwing a shoulder and knocking people down. And I played with the boys. I hated playing with the girls. Yeah. It was. I loved it. Like. I one time I was somewhere and this guy goes, "Oh my gosh, you're that girl." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "That girl on that soccer team." And I'm like, "I guess that's me."
I love it. The girl who's taking all the other kids out.
That was me. I had 4 brothers, so I had to be strong.
Oh, you were rough and tough. Okay.
Yeah.
You see, that's what people need to hear, right? Is that you're nobody like. I don't want to take anything special away, but I tell people I'm not special. You're not special.
Right.
If not to go off on a genetic tangent, but if genetically people they look at me, and then if you looked at a current family photo, and my family will never listen to this show, but if they ever do, I don't mind being truthful. My family is all overweight, every single one of them, and they weren't always. Okay, let's make a point here. Overweight America was not always a thing. Okay. This all goes back to what we've done to our whole food. Okay. What we've done with modifications, how we're growing it, the overproduction of it to the point where we've just lost nutrient density. And I could speak to this which is why I wanted you to come on today, because I'd back you up, because I grew up in farming. Okay. I was a farm kid. I milked cows for my first job. Like I lived on a farm, and then I rode my 10-speed, 10 miles down the road to a big dairy farm and worked there at 14, 15 years old. Okay.
Yeah.
So my father and my younger brother are cattle brokers. Like they buy and sell. I know the industry, and I've watched what has happened to our food and how grain dominant our food has become. Right. So I guarantee you, you might have had a Mexican day, right? But you probably don't even realize it. You probably have cut a lot of grain stuff out of your life. You didn't realize
it.
Right?
Yeah.
Like who the hell decided to stick all that good meat, cheese, and vegetables between bread? Sorry. I know I go off on this tangent all the time. People are like, oh, but it's whole grain. This is a whole other podcast. We could go off on that for a while. But the point here is that this current photo of you that I'm still sharing is the results of dedication, okay? Focusing on how you're feeling your body. And the side effect, I hinted this multiple times, I want to dig a little bit into that, is your rest and recovery. You have to have noticed how much better you sleep.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Can you remember like what your sleep cycles were like when obviously you were still overweight?
Yeah, I mean, I was up 2 or 3 times in the night and tossing and turning, and it was terrible.
Yeah, and probably due to whatever you were eating right before bed too. I mean,
correct. Yeah, yeah.
How we fuel the body is what the body becomes. It's the basic building blocks at the cell. Here's the best part: the human body is pretty powerful. Would you agree?
I agree.
I mean, you're looking pretty powerful now. So it's like, wait a minute. This whole body transformation thing, the nutrient density, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Long story short is this. Yeah, there's people out there genetically that can sit there and eat a giant bag of potato chips and never gain a pound. Those are few and far between. That's less than 25% of the population. I've talked to a few geneticists about this. And so it frustrates me when people generalize like that. And again, the human body adapts. It's like, dude, okay, you're not giving me what I need. I'm going to do what I can for only so much time. But then eventually, inflammation sets in, right? You have weight gain. Weight gain. Okay. I can go off on that. Where you said you had to control your eating. But let's be real. What were you overeating on? If overeating was the issue, what were you consuming?
Pizza, pasta, cheese.
And here's
more pizza.
I love cheese. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't rip on cheese because actually cheese is not processed like traditional milk is. Okay.
Right.
And you and I could go off on another whole episode on how good our proteins are that are air quote processed by Isagenix. But there's denatured and undenatured. Whole other podcast. But the point is, I always like to name drop that in there. Please Google it. There is a difference between denatured and undenatured proteins. Most of the ones you're buying off of the shelf in most stores have been flash cooked, killing all the natural microbes and everything that helps your body break it down and convert it to an amino acid, which is what your muscles actually need. There's your quick science lesson. Your muscles don't need protein. Your muscles need the amino acids that are created from the protein. Okay? So if you can get a protein that's more bioavailable, easily convertible, your body will probably like it more.
As you see.
Right? So and this is something that I could carry. I don't want to dig too much into the business side of this, but it is something that I'm always trying to educate to anybody who's actually looking to plug certain systems into their businesses, right? It's like, in the end, business is a system. I don't care what you're running. You could run a spinning studio, gym, a yoga studio, CrossFit box. You could be a marketing professional, right? Plugging into somebody's existing system that's already been proven to help you build a sustainable income.
Yeah.
That's it, right? It's funny because like I have friends of mine who own CrossFit gym, and they're actually on my Isagenix team, mind you, but they still never fully launched like Isagenix as a nutritional platform. They admit that they're always going to offer supplements in their facility. And I'm like, okay, let me get this understanding. The supplements are good enough for you and your husband to use, but you don't want to offer it to your customers.
Yeah, I don't get that.
What's up with that? Like, it's good enough for you, but it's not good enough for them. There's this whole stigma because of Isagenix is a network marketing company. Guys, it's just a form of business. 85% of the people on my team, I'm sure on yours, are just happy product users.
Yeah.
They're going to buy products from somebody. You're going to get it, God forbid, at the local GNC or the vitamin shop or whatever you're buying your crap from, or the musclemag.com or whatever these guys are nowadays, right? So if I could help you take that income and stick it where you know the ingredients are sourced right, the products are much more effective because you have thousands of transformations over the past 15 years. This is not a flash in the pan BS company. It's been proven for 15 years.
Correct.
So the only difference is they never opened up stores. It's not available through the traditional buying purposes. It's a direct selling model, right? There's people like you and I who made the decision of, well, I'm buying the products anyway. Why not make a little extra cash on the side?
Yeah.
Is that what happened with you? Were you just a happy product user in the beginning?
Yeah. In the beginning, my coach tried to encourage me to do it. And I said, listen, I'm working on me right now. Like, I don't care about other people.
And I respect that. Yeah. That's awesome.
So, yeah, I mean, it took me a few months, but once I started, it was the easiest thing ever. It was just like if I had gone out and eaten at this kick-ass restaurant, I'm going to go around and share it with everybody. Like, it's just as easy to me as that. Like, because people see, like, hey, you're getting results on that. I've never, ever put it out, like pushed it on anybody and said, hey, you look fat. You want to know what I did to lose my weight? It's
that's
people,
only a little bit rude.
I know, only a little bit. But that's what I love about it, because it's the results sell itself. And I don't ever feel like I'm selling it. Like, Isagenix sells itself. Yeah. I am just the person who hands it over and just literally claps my hands and encourages people and helps them problem solve to find a part of the system that works best for them and their lifestyle. And I mean, it's amazing.
It is amazing, because I think, and I don't know, I'm just going through some of the other photos you've shared in our community. I like this one too. It's a great back shot.
Oh yeah,
look at that definition. Boom.
It blows my mind. Because obviously I don't see my back all the time, but like every time I put it together, I'm like, what?
Okay, real fun. I love celebrating. I love celebrating people's success, and that's another important piece here. Right? That mental reinforcement is you've worked hard for that. But here's the best part. Granted, when you first started, you probably didn't have the same strength that you have today as far as your personal records and everything else. That will develop again when you're fueling the body right. But I guarantee you, some of that muscle was already in there. Yeah. It's just, again, that prior photo you have here, that's all inflammation, right? I think you've learned that. Right?
I have, yeah.
That's not necessarily all excess calories, right? Thanks to the show, I've interviewed like literally people who have studied the fat cell, like amazing, right? People don't know that the fat cell is designed to protect you. So if there's excess toxicity in your body, you can try and filter it out as best as possible. But depending on your level of health, your liver and kidneys and everything else are taxed. Well, once it gets taxed, it can only filter out so much. Well, guess where it's going to go? The body does not want toxicity in the bloodstream. It's going to pull it out. The fat cells are going to step in and say, dude, I got this. All right, I'm going to protect you. It's not, everybody's like, oh, well, I don't even overeat. I got all this inflammation. I got this fat. I'm like, dude, because it's not excess calories all the time. It's stress, cortisol, toxicity of the body, which is why I support nutritional cleansing, which is what you and I both do from time to time.
Oh, so good.
FYI, so good. I got a 2-day power session happening this week because I got the triathlon next weekend. So it's like, I love doing it like within a few days before an event. Just any excess toxicity I got in the body, like, dude, just cycle it out. People are like, you don't have any weight to lose. I said,
it's not about weight.
It's not about weight, right? We're athletes. Like you are more of an athlete now than you've ever been.
Correct.
I mean, you were an athlete when you were younger, but you're an athlete now.
Yeah.
The difference between your youth and today is that our lifestyles and the food we have available, all the manifestations that have happened over decade after decade after decade, we are more exposed now to air pollution, water pollution, and food pollution than we've ever been.
Mm-hmm.
So the healthier you can be, the better your body can fight that and recover from that. Would you agree?
Agree wholeheartedly.
So
yeah,
that's why I still put myself through cleansing, nutritional cleansing, whatever, cellular detoxification, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm healthier than I've ever been. And yes, my body on a regular basis can now detox better than it's ever done. But it still can't hurt to kick that up a notch, especially right before a comp. Dude, my energy shoots through the roof every time.
Awesome.
Every time.
I'm taking notes because I'm getting ready to do a Tough Mudder.
Welcome to the OCR world. That's obstacle course racing. You can now call yourself an OCR person.
Yeah, I did my first one last year, and I was like, only like 4 months into my journey, so I wasn't exactly excited about it then. But I did my first 5K the other day, and I was like, that wasn't that hard. I wasn't even sore, and I'm like, well, I got this. I'm not even nervous.
I'm hearing the mental game now, right?
Right. Like it's there. It's strong.
You're feeling even more confident than you've ever been.
It's true. Yeah, like that one. Look at me. I take my shirt off when I get really hot and when I work out. Like, I'm one of those bitches.
Yeah. Let's be real. You have, don't a lot of ladies, because you're a proud mother.
I am.
A lot of ladies refer to your prior photo as the baby pooch. Is that the term? I don't know.
Yeah, that is pretty common. Yeah.
Okay. Right. But let's be real. What do you think all that was? I mean, everybody's like, I put on a lot of weight when you're creating a human being, right?
Right.
And then it's so hard to get rid of that afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what people don't realize is when you started going through nutritional cleansing, kicking your nutrition up a notch, increasing your nutrient density profile on a daily basis, that's what you were doing with those shakes. You're still eating whole food.
Correct. Way more than I was before.
What your vitamin regimen, your shakes were doing was backloading the necessary nutrients that the food is missing.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So
exactly,
that allows your body to heal better, recover better. And then when you started adding in the cleansing and the fasting, here's a little hack. What people don't know is you're realigning your hormones. So again, thanks to people way smarter than me that I've had on this show. Weight gain and weight loss. It's not calorie counting. I've never counted a calorie in my life. And you may still do. I don't know. Do you actually, by the way, from time to time?
No, I don't. I'm not good at math.
Because here's the deal. And this is not a knock on Isagenix. This is a knock on most companies, including Isagenix. In the beginning, a lot of people want to focus on the number.
Right.
Same thing goes with your scale. Everybody's about the number. The sooner I can get somebody away from the scale and away from the number and focus on you already said it earlier, girl, quality versus quantity. Focus on the quality. Doesn't freaking matter. My fiance calls me a garbage dump. I'm like, well, you should really call me is a nutrition dump. Because I will sit down and crush her steak and my steak. Like, she'll only eat half the steak and I eat the rest of it. I was like, I know, like, for example, red meat steak is some of the most nutrient-dense whole food protein on earth. But, I mean, next to wild game, I'm a big fan of bison and buffalo and all that good stuff. So, yes, this is not a vegan-friendly episode. But my point here is the cleansing, the nutritional detoxification, all that stuff is helping your body reset.
Correct.
Because you never allowed it. So if you went into childbirth semi-unhealthy, then you put your body through the stress, because there's stress involved, creating another human life. Okay. Yeah. Then you come out of that, dude, everything's a mess. Like, you got to go through a whole recalibration. And that's what, I mean, you could probably talk better to that than me, because I'm not the one who created another human being. So
yeah, that's a whole nother conversation. but yeah, no, it's
is that part of what you went through, right?
Yeah, I went through twice. I did it in 2014 and 2016. So.
And is it true that the second one is usually harder?
Is it true that what?
Is it true the second one is usually a little harder?
Oh, yeah. It was terrible.
Because your body probably never fully recalibrated and reset from the first
one.
Depending on your lifestyle. Now, I'm not saying you go out and fire out another kid again, but
no, thank you.
But if you just wanted to today, you'd probably bounce back so much faster because of where you're at today.
Correct.
And I'm going to carry this over quick for the fitness listeners because, you know, I don't have kids, so I can only talk so much about kids because we don't want them. I respect people who, like you, who want to give back and create other human lives. We're just going to be the cool aunts and uncles, and I'm going to leave it at that.
Hey, you know, there's a place for all of us.
Nobody needs another crazy Scott running around. So, but here, I'm gonna tie this back to fitness and injuries. Again, we've hinted a lot about the power of rest and recovery. When you fuel the body right, get the necessary nutrients in there, you're fueling the body right. So it's not just athletic performance. It's not just bigger muscles. It's also the health of your connective tissues. It's the ability to bounce back and hit another crazy workout the next day. Like, I was my neck was a little sore last night. And then I put this good stuff on that I was showing you earlier. Actually, here, my camera's in minimal. You never even tried this, by the way.
I need to try it.
Hold on. Where's that? The light is so bright. Turn that away. There it is. Okay.
Yeah.
So this
is pain relief.
Angel's Pain Relief Cream. And again, I feel like it's an infomercial now. I don't care because I've been using this stuff forever too. Like here's the best part. When I was wild in firefighting, I started using this stuff in 2011, not 2010 when my rookie year, my second year, I found Isagenix in between. And then I started using their shakes, nutrition between firefighting, stuff like that, because the crap they were feeding me sucked. I've said this on past episodes. Yeah. Well, then I found this. And I was back then taking their joint supplement because I've had my shoulder rebuilt twice. All right. Oh, wow. Before firefighting. That's just lots of ski crashes, mountain biking, like the shoulder would actually end up over here in front of my pec. Oh. Like 9 dislocations in the first year alone in 1999. So I had it fixed in 99. Then I was fine. And then after years of racing my mountain bike and just beating the crap out of myself, I just ripped it apart again in 2007 and had to go back and rebuild it again. Ugh. So again, there's athletes out there who are going through this. But the surgeon told me, he said, Scott, we have everything on record here from the first one. So it's the same organization. He said, you know what? He's like, you're going to bounce back so much faster. And this is pre-Isagenix. I said, okay, why? He said, because you're fit. He said, when you first came in, 1999, I graduated high school in 95. So 99 would have been my senior year at Penn State. And I was not heavily into the gym life yet. Yeah. So the point was after that, learning from the PT, the physical therapist, put my shoulder to, get it all moving again, everything else. Like I got into fitness. Like I can thank an injury to teach me the power of exercise and fitness. But they said, because I started caring more about how I took care of myself, how I was eating, the mobility, the movement and exercise, the second surgery went a lot better. Well, I still didn't know what the heck inflammation was about until firefighting. So 2010, before I found all this, my knees would be throbbing every single night, camping under the stars. After, you do 16 hours of firefighting and hiking with 40, 50 pounds of gear. It beats the snot out of your legs. Right. So I started using this because it's not a pain prevention cream. It's a pain relief, right? Like it's helping. Long story short, it's a topical analgesic. That's all it is. You rub it in and it is absorbed into your tissues and it helps. But I don't use it as much as I used to. Why? My lifestyle. Thanks to detoxification, nutritional cleansing, me removing grains from my lifestyle, I have no joint pain anymore. So here's some truth. I don't take Isagenix's joint supplement anymore.
Because you don't need it. I
don't need it. So that's right, people. I'm actually saying you don't need to go buy something. So that's what I was telling people, like what I was doing in 2011 compared to 4 years ago, compared to today, has shifted and morphed. I continuously adapt, but I'm still using different components from what they have because I believe in the company. I believe in the quality. And I've changed my lifestyle a bit. I don't take as many shakes as I used to because I'm so into my ketogenic research right now. I need to stay fat adapted as possible. So there are some sugars in our shakes, people talk about it all the time. So like, I mean, years ago I was doing 2-3 shakes a day.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah. I was off. I was crazy. But this morning, I said last night I took my Nox, woke up, I had my shot of olive oil this morning, did my Onyx.
Yeah.
And then 30 minutes before going in for that Hero WOD, I downed one of my Isoline Pro, the Pro level shake. So,
I love those Pro shakes.
Oh,
those are amazing.
Yeah. So,
are you big on the protein powders, like the Power or
Isopro?
Hydrate? Yeah. Or no, just like the amped product line.
I just use the Nox. Like now, my fiance loves amped Hydrate.
Yeah.
Because he was using whatever it was called before we added it into the amped line. I just turned her on to amped Recover. I used it once in a great while because I like the amino acid profile.
Right.
And then I haven't even tried Nitro yet because
I didn't like the Nitro.
See, again, thank you. It's what fits you.
Right.
You found what fits for you.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy? I contacted, because I use Power, and I love Power, but I was like, there's all this hype about the Nitro. So I tried it, and it just, the caffeine in it just did not respond well with me. So I called them, and I said, hey, can I send this back? Can you send me some Power in replacement? And they said, sure, we'll send it to you. Just keep that. You know, we're not going to make you pay for shipping back. And I'm like, you guys are the best customer service ever.
Well, because they want people to find what works, right?
Right.
And that's when you know you're working with a good company. Right?
Yeah.
They want you to have the right product. Plus, that whole like money back guarantee, people keep forgetting that's forever. Like every time you try a new product that you've never tried before, that little guarantee applies to that one product.
Yeah.
They don't want people buying stuff that doesn't work or they don't like.
Right.
And they usually tell you to keep it, by the way, a little hack there. It's like they don't even ask you to ship it back.
You know, I had somebody who actually cashed back in on the full money back before the 30 days was up because she had personal health issues. But they wanted her to tell, they said, if you don't mind, could you please tell us every single product that you opened and how much you had of it and tell us about your symptoms, because we want to make sure that our products are not the reason that you are going through what you're going through. And she's like, well, I promise you it's not, because I had this before I started, but she's like, I'll go ahead and do it anyway. She felt, and then so she kept her year-long membership just in case she figured out her other health issues. So maybe she'll, start back on it later. But I was like, that's just so awesome. And she speaks to the power of the company truly caring about us and our successes, and that no two people are the same. Everybody's different. Everybody's journey is different. And they're not out to push one specific type of diet. It's a lifestyle, and it changes and modifies as you change. It changes with you.
Yeah. Again, because I'm a geek. I tell people all the time, and because we're approaching the end of the show anyway, and
right.
I'm hoping you've been having fun today. By the way,
I love talking to you.
I hope we've been discussing some things that you really wanted to get out there. Because this is about truth. Like, we're not BSing. Like, I tell people all the time, like, dude, if you don't want to use Isagenix, don't use Isagenix.
Yeah.
I'm still going to use it. I don't care. Now, if this was 8 years ago, I'm sorry, not 8 years ago, because my rookie year, I found it in 2010. So I'm coming up on 8-year anniversary. And yeah, I was a classic person where I was so excited because I felt amazing, right? And I was, I was high on life. So I was a classic person, right? You're just out there telling everybody about it. And like, oh God, you've fallen into one of those, those cult companies. I'm like, okay, all right, let me pause on that. Because I've been to Celebration, I've been to Isagenix University, I've been to a lot of events. And now I've grown beyond just Isagenix. I go to a lot of personal and professional development events. This isn't just that. Like, I'm beyond that now. And the reason why I go to events is because it's your chance to escape the other circles of negative influence in your life. Surround yourself with people of like-mindedness that help you, influence you, and positively influence you and impact your growth and support that, right? So it's like, okay, let's take the nutrition off the table. I said, listen, maybe you just want to pay to be a part of a circle of influence that's more positive than the people you're around. Because in the end, I tell people, Isagenix, and there's other great companies out there, right? This isn't just one. Like, there's a few that are really bad, but there's other companies that have actually put great products and services out there on a similar business model. So my whole point though is if you want to be a successful company, because I've seen it with Isagenix, is make sure you're putting a support system in place, not just with the nutrition, but if people decide to do the business piece like you and I did, you don't have to. That's what I love about them. You just want to be a happy consumer, be a happy consumer. But if you decide to go there, give them the personal and professional development that they need. And that's one thing I tell people about the company too. I'm like, guys, if one day you do decide that you need a side hustle because your job fires you, or you're stuck on the corporate ladder and nobody's promoting you, or you just hate your life and you just need something new and different. I don't care, whatever. The point is, dude, it's a nutrition company. All right. That you could make money if you wanted to. You don't have to. And it's a personal and professional development company. Like, they bring in powerful speakers and powerful entrepreneurs that have learned all this. So to sum all that up, Isagenix is why I became an entrepreneur. I grew up in an entrepreneurial family and I wanted nothing to do with it. I saw the struggle. I didn't understand it. But thanks to having this as a side hustle, it like slowly started building the reps up in my head. It's like going to the gym, right? You slowly get better and better and you realize, wait a minute, I'm capable of more. I can do this. I can break through those mental barriers. And that's what you've done. I heard that earlier in the call today. Like you've let go of your original primary job, right?
I have.
That's a huge step, bro. I mean,
very huge.
I mean, I don't care if the internet's bad or not. I'm going to try and turn your camera back on. Just because, how do you step into that? How do you tell people about it? Isn't that amazing?
It truly is. Yeah. I mean, it's the host.
Yeah.
Okay.
It makes me.
It wants to know if I want to start the video.
Like, that's a big move, girl. Big move.
Yeah. Thank you.
You believe in it.
Yeah, I do. I mean, my life has changed forever. So I get to do what I love and also be with my family, which is number one, obviously. That's the best part about this company, because they want people to be able to do what they want to do in life and not just get by. That's not what life is about. And it starts with your health. And I have the tools now that if anybody is interested and anybody wants to make just a drastic change in their health, all they have to do is ask. And my biggest pet peeve is whenever people just start talking and making up stuff like, you mentioned like magic pills. Someone did say the other day, they thought, I just took a magic pill and had a couple shakes a day for a year and I lost all my weight. And I'm like, listen to what you just said. Like, do you really think that's possible? And the person was like, actually, now that you say it, no. And it's just, I don't know. I mean, many people just speak out of fear. And it's the hardest thing for me because I want to break those like blinders off their eyes, but truly they have to take them off themselves. It's all about people opening their eyes and not living in fear. And so many people live in fear of what they don't know. And I just want to be like, just try it. Just try it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, you hit it earlier. Third or fourth IsaBody now?
I'm in my fourth, a month into my fourth.
Like, I'm in, because sometimes I forget, but I really try and make myself do it every 16 weeks. Like, this is one of the IsaBody shirts right there.
Yeah, that must have been one before mine because I don't have that one yet. That one's awesome.
So, I mean, very motivational.
Start, complete, repeat. Well, you know, I take my after photos are my before photos for the next challenge. Okay. So I just load them. I load up the after photos and I load them back up the same day. Yeah. As my start photo. That's what I do now. Because I was like, start, complete, repeat. Why do you do IsaBody? I'm like, because I do believe in being a product of the product, right? Like, hey, I'm living and breathing it. You know, it's not just a side hustle or a business for me. I mean, it is fun though. Like a few weeks ago, I've been so busy. I haven't been spending as much time on the business side of it. It's on autopilot right now. And I said like $2,500 just shows up in my bank account. I'm like, I had to log back in and figure out how that got there. I was like, oh, okay. So somebody, I didn't even know. I've been so busy growing other businesses that eventually you get to that point. But I've never been able to say that, and it's kind of fun, you know. It's like, oh, there's another $2,500, woohoo! Still got to pay taxes, people. Still pay your taxes. We still pay taxes. Yep. I take out that 20-25% immediately just to make sure. So, right. And don't get me going on the whole ability to start increasing tax write-offs, because if you're just an employee, you can't do that. But when you have a side business,
like this or any other side business, yeah, you could literally do all the tax benefits. That's a whole different podcast. So I just love what you've accomplished. And
thank you.
I love your message. And listen, we're always going to have haters out there. And I just tell people all the time, I'm a sales and marketing professional. I tell people, no just means not right now. And the sooner you can embrace the no and get past it, great, you're moving forward in the process. Because eventually the no just means they don't know enough yet. They don't understand enough yet. And a lot of it is education. And it's not pushing it down people's throats. And it's like in the CrossFit gym space, for example, it's letting them know that, listen, I'm just here to be a component in the cog. Like I could give you a platform and a system that will help people if it clicks with them. They don't have to use it. So gyms are going to have supplements, right? Yeah. If they're going to have supplements, at least have some that makes money.
I know.
And you have a built-in body challenge that you could win money and win trips on with, unlike Whole30 that you have to pay to use. So
right.
And then you get results like this.
Exactly. Eat right and have the proper tools, and you can obtain any goals that you can imagine. I mean, this is above and beyond. People always ask me, you're like, how much more weight are you going to lose? And I'm like, I don't know. I met my goal 20 pounds ago.
It's not about, again, thank you. I meant to detail that further. You just hit it. You eventually move beyond the scale. And it's about the measurements. And eventually you get to the point where like, wait a minute, I want to increase a couple of measurements. Yeah. So, because again, once you move past the scale, you realize that muscle's good because muscle looks good, right? I can't stand the skinny, weird, anorexic looking runway models. Like if a zombie apocalypse happens tomorrow,
they're dying first.
You're the veal appetizer because you're not going to be able to run. You're not going to be able to fight back. And I'm going to go pick up some CrossFit girls and we're going to conquer the planet and kill some zombies. So.
Yes. Count me in.
All right. That's what I'm talking about. So listen, again, the point is there's so much valuable stuff I think you and I chatted about today. And I hope different pieces are going to click with certain people. That's the point of having some diversity and variety. But if you, to help bring the show to a close, because you're guest co-host, finally, I thought we had you on already. I apologize.
That's all right.
But not just being a fellow admin and moderator of the ISACROSSFITTER community, you clearly are a product of the product. You've worked hard for this, not just a physical transformation, your mental transformation. And apparently now some financial transformation. So all that aside, what are some final words you want to leave behind to listeners who've never met you? They're going to start hearing you now that you're coming out on the show. Like, how would you sum this up? I mean, what is we've talked about so much. Let's say they forget everything else on the show for you. Is there a message you're putting out there right now to try and help people? And darn internet. Hold on a second. Yeah, your gym internet doesn't like you. Let me stop your video real quick. There we go. Let's see if this helps. Stand by. You are frozen. All right, you back yet? Hold on. I'm going to turn your video off. And then I guarantee your audio. Then your audio.
Yeah, audio is back.
I've learned these hacks over 2 years of podcasting. So
that's good. I'm glad you've learned it. I need to next time I'm going to find a way. Our gym actually has internet, and I thought about like running in there and getting the password, and then I thought, nah.
Hey, listen, this is the real world. This stuff happens. So the fact is that you're hustling and willing to share this on a Sunday. And coming away from your family, it shows you care a lot about this, and you do care.
I do. I really do care. And, you know, my number one goal every day of my life from now on is to transform lives every day, whether that's just, you know, giving someone the knowledge of how to transform or giving them, ultimately everybody who's going to transform the strength and amazing. All I do is encourage people every day to do something that they already have the strength and the power to do. It's just waking that up and finding tools and
hold that thought.
The community that really gives you that fire and that flame to do what you already have inside of you, and everybody has it. Everybody has it inside of them. And I just think it's amazingly awesome that I have tools that are so easy, and it's set up so simply and so easy to just, adapt to the different lifestyle changes. Like I work with people who literally have a party who runs 35 miles a week. I'm here. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you were just super slow at electronica.
Hello.
Can you hear me? Hold on a second. I stopped your video on purpose. So.
Hello.
Can you hear me? Hold on.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
It's cool.
Okay. Yeah,
hey,
that's right.
Do you have the calendar invite that I sent you with the phone number and the pin?
Yeah.
So here's what you're going to do.
If I get out of
end this Zoom, call the number on the invite and enter the same PIN number, and we'll have a phone connection. And that way we get your best final words. And see, I adapt on the fly.
Yay. All right. So I'll call in and do the.
Yeah, I will pause now. So let me pause. Go ahead and disconnect. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Woo-hoo. And we've resumed. It was like it never happened. But listen, I had to get you back on the phone so we can close this show out right and make sure people really heard your final words, because they were getting all slowed up and electronica. But I mean, you hit a little bit on community, wanting to help people, wanting to give back, getting people to make decisions, for themselves and take those risks and challenge themselves. So go ahead and hit us on a summary of that again.
Yeah. Ultimately, transformations start with the person that's transforming. Like, they have to make that decision themselves. For me, the hardest thing is to not push people, because, just like you said, if somebody says no, it's just not the right time. And they may never get to that place, but it's doing what I do is about transforming lives every day. And transforming lives starts with informing people and letting them know, like, hey, look, I can do it, you can do it. And I don't think that I ever give people the courage that they didn't already have. I awaken what is already inside of them. And every single person has the strength to do what I've done. Like, and you said it, like, I'm not special. Like, I agree. I say that to people all the time. Like, I'm not a special person. I'm not some person who has this like extra amazing, crazy, like strength inside of me that other people don't have. Other people have it. They just refuse to wake it up and acknowledge it and give it the power that it needs. And so being a part of this company is about transforming lives. And it starts with food, and it ends with just a mental change, complete, total 360 from going from allowing food to control your life to controlling the food that goes into your body.
No, I love that message. Thank you. Because again, we hinted at it earlier, right? No is not right now. They don't know enough yet. And also, just in business or in life, not everybody's going to click with your message. So the sooner you can figure out if they're meant to be helped by you or not, if it's a no, great. You get to take all that energy and go focus on people who actually want help, that are ready.
Right.
And I tell people this all the time on the show lately, is that we're just all at a different place on the timeline. And you yourself, you have moved along a different timeline than others, and also similar to other people like in the Isagenix world and everything else. So it's like, guys, like I have a timeline that I have created, that I have accomplished these changes because it took hard work. So I'm not asking you to turn around tomorrow and look like this. By the way, I'm sharing your transformation photo again. So it's because that takes time. Like I tell people to see a legitimate physical transformation. Yes. Have we seen magical, amazing transformations the first 30 days? Sure. But a sustainable, where your body is actually started getting reprogrammed. You've actually learned some things. It's a legit minimum 16 weeks, right? That's why IsaBody, see, years ago, IsaBody wasn't a full 16 weeks, I'm sorry. It was 3 months. Yeah. And then they moved it to 16 weeks. And I said, good job. Because for some people, the mental game is harder. For some people, they're going to cheat. They're going to have mistakes. You know, you got to allow for that because you hinted at it. It's not just the physical game. It's the mental game.
It is.
So, well, listen, I want to make sure you get back to your family. I'm going to go, I got some more sledgehammers to swing, actually. So, I just can't stop.
Sounds like fun.
You know, it's part of that healthy, fit life. But listen, stand by. I want to give you a proper goodbye off the air. Ladies and gentlemen, Lydia Hunt, okay, from my fellow ISACROSSFITTER community. Again, I hope you guys got a lot of today's show. This is, yes, we talked a lot about Isagenix, but this is bigger than that, okay? This is big picture thinking, people, okay? Whether you're a Shakeology person or just somebody who's just looking to make changes in your life, your business, etc., that's the point. The point of this podcast, the point of Lydia and I taking time out of our days to talk to each other for you is that we don't care if you don't try Isagenix, your loss. But the point here is the big picture is just start making positive changes. It doesn't need to be a full body transformation. Sometimes it's just saying, hey, I'm not going to put sugar in my coffee anymore. Okay? She said it earlier in the show. It doesn't need to be huge, massive steps. The small steps you make are more sustainable and they build to something bigger and greater. So thanks for tuning into another powerful Live the Fuel podcast show. Again, Lydia Hunt, thank you for joining the show. Thanks for tuning in. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, you too can live the fuel. We'll talk to you guys again soon. And we are shutting down.